that impact that he has, how's that connection been for you early on, considering this is still fresh, this is still new with you guys?
No, this is definitely crazy. He's definitely another father, family figure role. It's bigger than basketball. It's bigger than just this year. It's bigger than me graduating. It's a lifetime relationship with him. Even though some days I don't want to hear it, some days we all don't want to hear it, but it's definitely, he does everything with intention. I know, like, it may look crazy in practice sometimes, but that's one thing I've noticed about him. Everything, like from the smallest thing to the loudest thing, it has an intention. He's always trying to make us better off the court, and his biggest thing with us is making us better men. So I definitely appreciate him for that.
Trey, why Louisville for you?
For me, like I said, I come from a family-oriented environment, coming from Dallas. So I just wanted a fresh start with a group of guys who want to win. I feel like coming off the season that we came off of last year, and I feel like everybody's just hungry for more. So that part of it is just wanting to win, and that family environment. Coming from Dallas, this is more my realm, my fast, my slower pace of environment. And I trust KP. I trust his staff. Like I said, it's bigger than basketball over here. It's making us better men. So everything that we do, I feel like he has an intention with us. He has a plan with us, and I trust him over here. So whatever is on our plate, we're going to get done.
When you see the guys, I mean, I know there aren't that many guys back, but, they only won 4 games last year.
Yeah.
Does that surprise you with some of the talent?
If you didn't know already.
Yeah, I definitely seen it.
People talk about it.
It definitely surprised me just because the fact that, like, how focused, like, the guys who came back were from day one. Like, they were super focused, super locked in, and I can see why, because I would be locked in too. Like I feel like that helped me get oriented into Louisville a little better too, just knowing that, like, okay, yeah, like, we're not here to play games. We're not questioning, are we going to have the same year as last year? Like, from day one, from the second I started, from the first practice, it was all about go, get better. So I feel like that helped me kind of get into the rhythm here too.
What did getting a taste of the NCAA, I mean, that's, everybody would say they want to play in the NCAA tournament.
Yeah.
You played in the NCAA tournament.
Yeah.
What did that little taste, kind of, how does that even push more to get back and make a bigger run?
And for me, just being as a competitor, I did not like going out like that. And, like, we lost in our first round of the first game and barely snuck in. So me as a competitor, I want another taste of that. I want to get a bigger bite of that apple. I definitely want to take these guys there too, collectively. But also, it's just like, this is Louisville, like, we win, you know what I'm saying? We win here, so just to get us back there as collectively, back in that statue of, like, how people think about us, I feel like that'll be big for the community as well. And like I said, just being a competitor, like, I want to win, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I want to win, so, and I feel like we got the great group of guys to do it. We got the experience, we got the knowledge, we got the hunger. So I feel like it's gonna be good this year.
How much of an adjustment is it to come to a brand new place and basically be expected to be a leader pretty quickly because of the experience you have in the college game?
It's not really an adjustment for me. I feel like I've always just been a leader, just starting from a kid. I have younger siblings, younger sisters, so just trying to lead them by example. I feel like that's where I've kind of built that from. And coming over here, I feel like everybody is a leader. I feel like, yeah, different people have different parts of leading, but everybody here wants to win, wants to turn this whole thing around, show everybody what we're about. So when it's time and some people are tired, everybody is leading each other. And I feel like that's what makes us different this year, that the community hasn't really seen this year, that everybody is hungry, everybody's in here working every day, pushing our bodies to the max and just staying together. And I feel like it's really going to show this year.
People aren't here every day, seeing you guys practicing. What is the biggest growth point that you've noticed? Because you've seen guys develop over college and what it takes to improve.
Definitely. I honestly feel like it's the confidence here. Like, first of all, our camaraderie off the court. Like, our brotherhood is actually real. I know they're saying you need chemistry on and off the court, but this is my first time ever, like, having a brotherhood to play with. We eat with each other, 3-4 times a week. We're with each other all day, every day. The relationships are crazy. So I feel like that helps for one. And then for two, can you ask the second part of your question again? My fault.
Oh, yeah, no problem. Just in terms of on the court, the biggest growth that you've seen from summer, early practices.
Definitely. Yeah, like I said, after the brotherhood, that's what keeps us going. But the biggest growth I've pretty much seen is the confidence in everybody, because practices are hell. Practices are way harder than the games. I know for sure. And we haven't even played any games yet. I know they're going to be way harder just because, for one, how the staff is, they hold us accountable for everything, and how the players are. We all have something to prove. Like, we're all working, we're all grinding, we all want to turn this thing around. So practices are dog fights, all, like, the whole time we're in here. So I feel like just seeing everybody get better and start to figure out sets and when to get their shots and when to keep going and how to take challenges. I feel like that's helped our players get their confidence more, and myself as well, just gain more confidence in our team as a whole. And I feel like it's going to show this year too with that.
last thing for me, what did you take away from the exhibition against Simmons? You guys kind of started slow, turned the ball over, but eventually you pulled away.
Yeah. I was honestly good. I was honestly okay with our game against Simmons because we played a bunch of different lineups, just seeing our younger guys and older guys just come in and try to figure out each other. I feel like we still had a good game. We won by 40-50, even though we had a couple turnovers. I feel like we just played down to our competition just a little bit, just because once the score got up a little bit, I feel like we did relax just a little bit. But I was honestly pleased. We had a bunch of good moments where we had a bunch of lane touches, a bunch of one-more passes, a bunch of rebounds and getting out. And this was like our first time really playing against somebody different. So I feel good about where we're at right now, for sure.
Thanks, man.
Thank you, bro. I'm Trey.
What's up?
I wanted to ask, we were just kind of talking with Dennis about growing up in Cali and who we kind of looked at when we was starting to like basketball. Like, what were your favorite teams back in the day?
Like whole NBA teams?
Like whoever, whether it's college, NBA, like whoever,
For me, I'm coming from Dallas, Texas, man. I always loved the Texas team. So for one, I always loved watching KD. When he was at Texas, he was killing it at KD. I also like, it's a bunch of like, honestly, I love NBA players, but I've always watched like people from Dallas, people from the neighborhood, people from the city. I try to support them. So like a bunch of guys that you really don't even know about, like Wade Taylor, TJ Starks, Keith Frazier, people like those, you know, just give me a little bit of motivation on that you can make it out the city. I like watching guys like that. And on the NBA level as well, I don't really have any teams. I just like watching, you know, players who play well together. You know, I just have a couple favorite players. I don't have teams. For sure.
Does the colony count?
No, not at all. No, not at all. Not at all. Not at all. No.
All right, because that's where my man Darren Williams was from, right?
Yeah. Small world.
Yeah, and Bracy Wright. You remember Bracy?
No,
Bracy
I don't.
played at Indiana. He
real?
didn't really make it. Coming out of high school, he
Yeah.
was like that dude.
Yeah.
And he kind of got injured, and
Yeah.
I don't know.
I know D. Will was that dude too. When I was at Little Elm, Darren Williams, we talked about him, watched so much film on him too.
Yeah. Now I wanted to ask you about your tests.
Yeah, thank you.
Malcolm and Ali specifically. When did you get those?
I got these like I want to say a couple months, like a month ago, like before the season. I got this one like a month or two before our first scrimmage, and I got this one right after I graduated high school.
Okay.
And I just love everything they stand for, even if it means, you know, being the odd one out. You can always stand for what's right. And I really respect that. For sure.
So what does it mean to actually play in his city?
It's actually crazy. Yeah, it's actually crazy. This is his city too. It's actually crazy just because I got this before even committing to any college. So I just got it just off the principles of what he stood for and everything. So once I actually got the chance and opportunity to come down here and see everything that he was about, see his museum, see the airport, see the family, see the restaurants, it's honestly surreal, honestly, just to see the love and support from all across Kentucky, you know, just to see him here. And it's crazy. But honestly, it's crazy.
Do you have a favorite fight of his or a favorite quote? Or
No, not a favorite fight. I just love everything he stood for. Honestly, like, yes, he was one of the greatest ever, but I feel like the more thing that resonates with me is like what he stands for. He stands for his family. He stands for, you know, standing up, even if it means being wrong, and leading by example. I take that deep within.
When did you? I mean, I know most kids know Ali, but when did you like really get put on to him? Because it's really not more than just a.
Honestly, I don't know. When I got put on, it feels like I've known a little bit about him for a minute now. I feel like I give credit to my people, you know, my pops, my mom, my grandma, my grandpa. I feel like they've always just kept me knowledgeable about my history and stuff like that. So I feel like I got to give credit to them. I don't think there's like a certain point in time when I'm like, oh, I want to learn more about him. I feel like I've always just been flooded with knowledge from my people.
Now, I wanted to ask about leadership because Mike and JJ put you in when I was asking who they felt like were the leaders on this team. Your name was one of the names that came up. It always strikes me as it seems like a balance because you're new to the team.
Yeah.
So it's like, how do you kind of coming in and still being able to have your voice and speak out?
For sure. I feel like from day one, I made it a point to all these guys that like there's no egos on this team. Like we're here for one reason. We're here to win. We're here to win a championship. We're here to take this as far as we can go. So I feel like just stating that from day one, I feel like I don't know why. I feel like it took a lot of tension off a lot of people. We had a bunch of new transfers coming in, a bunch of old a couple older teammates on the team. So I feel like that just balanced everything out. And from there, once we all got balanced out, it was all about winning. Everything is winning. So I feel like for me, I just got to do the little things to win. We got enough scores, we got enough passes, we got enough defenders. I feel like to be a good team and seeing that in the tournament from last year, you have to do the little things. So it's like huddle whenever we can, keeping the energy right. If somebody hasn't got a touch, then make sure they got the touch. I feel like that's going to help us in the long run towards the end of the season if we're all on that same page, for sure.
And I'm also curious, so when you talk to your friends and stuff back home, or even some from USC, what do you tell them about Louisville that maybe you didn't know before you got here? About the city or about the school?
Yeah, for one, well, when I first got here, I didn't know how crazy supportive the fans were. I got into an Uber to go to Walmart. I think it was my second or third day here, and the fan I asked, like, are you Trey White? Are you? I'm like, yeah, like, that's crazy. This is my second day out here, so that was like a big shock to me. I've always heard about the support and, they can be with you, but that was the biggest thing. And for me, too, just being from Dallas and then going to LA for the last 3 years of my life, coming back to Kentucky, the food was a big, I know it sounds weird, but the food was a big shock for me because in LA, it's a bunch of foreign foods, a bunch of different things, which is cool, but coming out here is more my vibe, more of my, my taste. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, for sure, definitely.
All right, and lastly, I mean, we were at ACC yesterday with all the teams. I think the polls supposed to come out pre-season or whatever. Ain't nobody really